Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another surprise podcast by yours truly, the one, the only Mr. Boom Boom Kaboom. Noof Nukem is in the room. How is everyone on this fantastic Thursday evening? I hope you're all doing well. Yes, all right, another podcast. How about that? Hey, I decided I was going to take a break, and here I've already been back and done basically doing two podcasts already this week, kind of a record. I'm going to keep it short and sweet, though, not a whole lot to get into. Looks like I'm flying solo right now. I was hoping to have the mag here, and you never know. Maybe he will pop by. I'm not sure. I know Titan can't be here with me tonight. I always, of course, send out the invites to my Gaming After Dark panel members. But how are you guys tonight? Good to see you here. Doggy Dog, what's up? Hope everybody is doing well. So, if you got any questions or would like to chime in, or even if you're actually in this chat and you do want to join me on the podcast, let me know. Just say, hell, I'm in. I'll send you the invite. It's all good, man. Whether you got lots of podcast experience or next to nothing, hey, man, it's always easier to do this stuff when you got a partner in crime, so to speak. So, if you haven't guessed already, tonight's podcast is just my impressions essentially of Sony's 2021 State of Play. I think it's the first one so far in 2021. Just kind of an update, I guess, on some of the games and where they're at. Joe Dunmore is in the chat. What is happening, Joe? Good to see you. Five amazing people here kicking it off already. So, the show itself, you probably, if you didn't catch it, or I'm not sure if you did, how many of you guys in the chat did you manage to catch State of Play? Did you even give a shit? I know, I basically cater to a lot more of the Xbox crowds. People don't really follow up on the Sony side of things all that much. But being a multi-console owner, I'm always excited about games, no matter what the platform. So if you did happen to watch it, love to hear from you. Maybe let me know what your impression was of it. Like I said, I think the show was about 33 minutes and told they previewed 10 different games in there. Psychonauts, how are ya? Good to see you here, my friend. So I've got a list of all the games. I'm just going to kind of go down briefly and then just kind of give you my take on what I saw, what my impressions were. So let's kick things off by just saying we'll start with the first game that they showed off, which again is an older game from last year, Crash 4, or what is it? Crash 4 Tear in Time or some fucking thing, whatever. But yeah, definitely, I expected a few more, something that would have kind of blown my mind a little bit, so to speak. But yeah, so Crash 4, I mean, self-explanatory. If you played it already, it's the same exact game. Essentially, the PS5 version is coming out here. It's slated for March the 12th. Spider-Man, how are you? Glad you could be here. And yeah, March 12th. And it's just going to have, obviously, the 4K 60 and stuff. If you have a PlayStation 5, you'll be able to play the game with, obviously, better frame rates, upped resolution, and the usual kind of stuff. So, like I said, self-explanatory there. I don't even know how many people played Crash 4. I know I didn't. I have the Crash Trilogy one that came out a few before. I know I don't use Discord. I actually just use StreamYard, which I'm on here right now. Real simple stuff. I just drop you a link in the messages there, and you just click on it and away you go. It's really simple to use, easy stuff. What do you want in, Psychonauts? You're welcome to join me, brother. I'd greatly appreciate some company here. Casket Repair, how are you? Glad to see you guys tonight. So just let me know. You're at work, didn't get to watch. Yeah, I was at work too. I didn't get to watch. Came home and watched it. That's why this podcast is running a little bit late. I was hoping to kind of get on around 7 o'clock, but then I realized, hey, well, I still got to eat. Then I still got, I got to watch this thing. So that's half an hour, all that stuff. So Crash, self-explanatory. The good thing is if you already own the current version and you're going to plan to play it for PS5, it's a free upgrade. So I'm glad to see that's carrying over, that they're taking a cue from Xbox's book, so to speak. And, there's going to be no extra charge to get those extra features and stuff in that particular version. Now, the second game is one of the bigger games that's been, a lot of it was multiplayer. You're absolutely right, Spider-Man. Second game now is a PlayStation exclusive, one we've seen for a couple of times on various different occasions, one that some people are intrigued about, some people not so much. This is one of the, I guess, better looking more games of the particular show. We're talking about Returnal, which is due to come out April 30th, so that's not too far out, so that's the good news there. Let's hope that it hits its launch date, but who the hell knows these days. So Returnal is set to come out April 30th. It looks pretty cool. I mean, I didn't see a lot more than I've seen probably in the past. It's kind of a trippy game. I thought the interiors of the house and stuff looked really, really cool. The character's kind of neat. Some interesting weapons. I can't figure out which vibe I was getting from the whole thing. You know what I mean? Crazy Greek dude, what is up, brother? How are you? Crazy, did you get your game yet, bro? I hope you got your game. I gotta go check out the tracking number, but fuck, you should. If you didn't get it, you should have it by fuck tomorrow. I hope, depending on the weather, of course. Matty P, what's going on, brother? How are you? Yeah, I hope you got that game though, man. I'll have to go check my tracking number. If you don't have it by tomorrow, let me know. I want to see where the fuck that thing actually is. Like it's been. Okay, so all right. So if you don't get it tomorrow, I'm gonna have to check the tracking and see which state that it's in, where it's at this present time, because it should have been there. It was expedited and it was insured. So, yeah. So Returnal does actually look kind of cool. I can't figure. Does anybody know what Returnal reminds you of? Because it's hard to say. I mean, again, it's another third-person, over-the-shoulder, story-based sci-fi game. And I'm trying to think, like, what does it remind me of? It's hard to say. It's kind of like a sci-fi horror kind of deal. It does look really interesting. And now it's not interesting to me on the whole. I want to pay $89.99 Canadian for this damn thing. You know what I mean? This is one of those PlayStation games that it screams Game Pass. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think if this was an Xbox game, this would be the one where people are gonna go, maybe I'll just wait a while and pick it up on Game Pass, right? So, all that sort of shit. So, but it does look interesting. Like I said, definitely one of the better looking games. This one, the next one, number 3, Knockout City, comes out May 21st. It's a multiplayer game. Kind of reminds me of Splatoon in a sense, but it's like a dodgeball game with these crazy levels and stuff. And yeah, Lost Planet, actually, that's a pretty good one, Joe. This one is, there's not a lot to say about this. It's just one of those, it looks like one of those fun little games that you'd play for a week or two and then it'd be forgotten about, right? Knockout City, kind of like Destruction All Stars right now, right? Like people kind of played it for a couple of days and already it's kind of like, whatever, right? So Lost Planet without the snow, pretty much. Regulator, how are you, man? Wow, 20 friggin' people in here already. That is impressive, guys. Thanks so much. By the way, after this particular podcast is over, I'm going to be jumping on Xbox and firing up Outriders if that's working. So apparently it's a 3-player co-op. Would love to have 2 people come join me if you guys haven't even played it yet. Plus, I'd love to get your impressions on that throughout the show or whatever. Let's see here. Nobody said they wanted to join, but I'm gonna send over. I'll send over Psychonauts a little. I'm gonna send Psychonauts an invitation here if he does want to join in. So just give me a second here, boys. All right. Hope everybody's having a fantastic evening. And yeah, I'm certainly having a good night. And like I said, definitely a lot better than I was, I guess, about a week or so ago when I thought I was going to be taking. Yeah, I thought it was Tuesday. Yeah, man, sounds good. Outriders, yeah, there's a free demo up right now. No matter what console you have, you can download it. It's not that big. I think it's, well, I downloaded it for my Series X this morning. I think it was about 18, just under 20 gigs. Crispy Rambo, what's happening? And my speeds were coming down like blazing this morning. It was great. Didn't take that long to get it. So I'm dying to go check it out. I've heard good things, especially from the Gaming Beyond the Box crew. A lot of them are very excited about it. So that's kind of cool. It comes from the studio. What do you call it? People Can Fly. Is that the one? People Can Fly? The guys who made Bulletstorm. So, you know, it definitely has some promise there. But anyway, back on topic. Knockout City. I think this one's going to get knocked out real quick, to be honest. It's like a dodgeball game. So unless you're just a real big multiplayer kind of person, and I can definitely see Knockout City be one of those games that either goes free quickly, ends up in Game Pass. It is going to be a multi-plat game. I think it's being published by EA, if I'm correct. So it looks fun, but I don't expect much out of that. So there's really not much to say there. Now, the next one was probably one of the biggest surprises for me at today's show. It's called Sifu. And it's kind of like a third-person action martial arts game with an interesting art style, kind of a bit of a watercolor pastel, I don't know, what do you call it, cel-shaded graphics kind of a style. But it's got an interesting character. It looks like some really interesting combat. And it looks like it will be a ton of fun to play. I don't know a lot about it. They didn't really say much as they were narrating through the video, but it does look really cool and definitely something that Can Arnold throw a shout out to my son Liam? My friend Arnold would be honored to do a shout out to you at Regulator dropping the $1.99 in the super chat. So let me go dig up Arnold. Arnold's always pissed at me, man. You know what I mean? But I can see if I can get him on. Arnold, are you in the house? Of course, I'm in the house. I'm never very far away. I'm here, and I'm always listening to the show, and I love the chat. You guys, look, Nukem, you're an idiot, but I can tell you that you got one of the best podcast chats of anybody in this whole community. These guys come out here, they support your fat ass all the time. No questions asked. They're here to do it. So anyway, I got the name in the chat. So here it is, Liam. Shout out to you, my man. You're awesome. Stay true to yourself, play games, make your papa proud, do all the good stuff. Yes, and come out and we'll be here for you. You're awesome. So there you go, Liam. Got your shout out. And again, thanks, Regulator, for dropping the $1.99 in the super chat. Hope that Regulator, you do the right thing and you get Liam to watch all my movies, the backlog. Now, a couple of those you can skip if you want. Some of the comedy movies. But make sure he sees the Terminator and Commando and Conan and all of those movies. He's going to love them. Yeah. Spider-Man. Outriders is Matt uninstalled it. Gameplay was bad. That is interesting. Well, I'm going to find out shortly if it's what it's like. Definitely go check it out. So anyway, thanks again, Regulator, for that. And thanks all you guys for coming out. That's pretty impressive. So Sifu looks actually pretty good. Kind of excited about that. Hard to say if that's going to be like a full price game or sort of an indie deal. I couldn't really tell. Now, the next one is called Solar Ash. It comes from the makers of Hyperlight Drifter. I don't know if there was any date on either one of those games, but anyway, that one looks a bit trippy. It's kind of a weird graphic art style, interesting looking character. A lot of jumping, a lot of fast, fluid combat, that sort of stuff. Hey, yeah, welcome, Regulator, anytime. Yeah, Joe Don versus Sifu reminds me of a modern kung fu where you're fighting guys in a hallway to the next floor. Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? It almost reminds me like of a Bruce Lee flick to some degree, and kind of interesting. Like, I want to know more about that one. It's definitely perked my interest, but we'll see how it goes. It might be absolute garbage. It's hard to say. Kind of almost give me a little bit of a John Wick vibe there for a minute. That'd be pretty cool. I'd like to see a really good combat game and done like John Wick, to be honest with you guys. So Solar Ash, that one I had pretty much absolutely zero interest in that game after seeing it. So I'm just going to leave that where it is. Next one is a popular title that some may know. I've never played one of these games. I do know of the franchise or the series. I know it's very popular, especially among some of the younger crowd. We're talking about Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. So this one's coming out here pretty soon. Sometime late spring here, I think it is. Five Nights at Freddy's. A little bit of a horror action, third person. I don't know, kind of a weird looking game. That's all I can say. Like, I don't know much more about it than that, but I can definitely tell you, not it's not on my radar either. Like I said, I didn't play one before, and I don't think that's going to start overnight. Moving down the list, Oddworld Soulstorm, April 6th. Now, Oddworld, we've seen this one on several occasions at very different shows. It keeps looking a little bit better to me every time I see it. I don't know if you guys are Oddworld fans, but definitely an interesting looking game, that studio 2D 3D kind of aspect, that sort of thing, and it definitely has a bit of a next gen vibe to it. It looks pretty polished, cool looking game. But again, there's another title that's been around since the early days of the PlayStation, in Oddworld, and I never really got into them. Just never really appealed to me. It was just kind of a weird character. Crazy says, I don't get Five Nights. My nephew and nieces are creeped out by it. Like I said, I don't know much more about it than, I've seen tons of merchandise around. I see lots of that stuff at the local EB games, and I know about the games. I've never tried one, and this one doesn't look like something that would get me to go back into it. So, like I said, Oddworld, I think that one is going to be fun for people who are fans of that franchise, who like the character of Abe. Abe is back. Like I said, some really cool special effects going on there. Good stuff as well. And I think if you, I don't know, I think there's some kind of free upgrade as well with that. We're seeing that trend a lot right now, is if you have the older version, whether it's the PS4, you bought the game already, or you decide to upgrade in the future, you get the free upgrade there. So that's kind of cool. Now, the next one was hands down a game that I had high on my radar for quite some time, and it was definitely my favorite game that they showed off today, and that is Kena. Bridge of Spirits, which we now have we've got a release date for that. It comes out on August the 26th. August 24th of this year. Boy, that one's really gotten delayed a lot because that game was actually supposed to, believe it or not, that game was supposed to come out somewhere around this time last year, if I'm correct. Then it got moved. I think it was toward like late summer, and now here we are. It's almost it'll be well over a year later before this game comes out. So I hope it's good. I mean, it's Ember Lab. I don't know much about the studio. I think this is pretty much their first project. They worked on some pretty cool stuff in the past. I think they worked on some stuff for movies and stuff like that before they got into the gaming aspect, which would explain why the graphics themselves look really, really cool. This is definitely a title that looks like it will push the PlayStation 4 to its limit and definitely has a next-gen aesthetic to it on the PlayStation 5. Of course, you got all the bells and whistles, and a big part of the PS5 version will certainly be utilizing the DualSense controllers. So Kenna Bridge of Spirits, definitely my game of what I saw today. I can't wait for that one. That will be a day one purchase for me. And it is coming out on PS4 and PS5. So that's good news too. So if you haven't upgraded yet, you're not in dire straits. You'll still be able to play the game. That sort of thing. Is anybody here in the chat? Anybody planning to get Kenna at all? No, nobody's planning to get Kenna, whatever you want to call it. Like I said, I think that one's going to be good. As far as I know, that one is a PlayStation, potentially PC / exclusive there. So it looks really cool. Now, the next one we should potentially see on Xbox in the future once their little deal expires with Bethesda, and that is Deathloop. It is from the studio of Arcane. You guys may know Arcane for Dishonored, that particular franchise, and a few other ones, but Arcane is doing that one. That one actually looks pretty cool. That has got some pretty wild combat stuff going on there, and really interesting art style. So shooter stuff, and I guess it's really all about dying and then redoing things over again. Well, it sounds like a shooter that decided to have a baby with friggin' Sekiro, or Sekiro. You know what I mean? So it's constantly about dying, learning from your mistakes, coming back, and hoping to get better at it. Yeah, that one, Drew Zilm, how are you, man? Good to see you in the chat. That one does kind of look pretty cool. Like I said, it should come to Xbox eventually, but for now, it's under that timed exclusive deal with Sony and PlayStation. So kind of really weird, Microsoft buys Bethesda, and here they are. They've got, 2 games coming out on PlayStation that are basically locked in under the old the old contract, stuff like that. So that's kind of neat and kind of weird at the same time. So refreshments, baby. I wish I could tell you that was an ice cold beer, but actually it's an ice cold Pepsi. So my favorite drink, baby. All right. Anyway, so Deathloop, here we go. We're winding it down. Here we are. Number 10. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. So there you go. Another game that we've already played. Getting basically some DLC content for it there, and obviously getting the PlayStation 5 overhaul, which is obviously timed exclusive. You bet you, Spider-Man, we know that. So it will come out on Xbox eventually. But Final Fantasy. We still haven't. That's weird. We haven't heard anything about the Xbox version of this game, which is kind of weird because I know last year they said that Final Fantasy VII Remake was supposed to come to Xbox. I mean, they even announced it at one of the shows, did they not? Yet we've heard next to nothing on it, and here we are approaching March, and we haven't heard anything about the Xbox version of that game. And I know there's people out there that don't have a PlayStation and have been eagerly awaiting that remake to come to the Xbox platform, but haven't heard a lot. For me, I have Final Fantasy VII Remake. I haven't even finished it. I barely touched it, to be honest. I bet you I played about 10 hours of it and haven't really done anything since. So I have to go back to it. I do like it. It looks phenomenal. All that sort of stuff. And it's heavy with nostalgia, but it improves on a lot of the things from the old game, different things. So as far as this one, you know what? Honestly, RPGs are tough for me. They require such a time investment. So I don't think it's something I'll invest in, even though I get the free PS5 upgrade if I already have the PS4 version. So that's another bonus. What is going on, Iceman? Good to see you in the chat, bro. Thanks for being here, guys. Amazing chat here tonight. We got 18 awesome cats watching. I know on an impromptu podcast on a Thursday night. This was something I decided I was going to do I think it was like early this morning. I'm like, hey, I'm going to watch this thing and I'll come on and give my impressions. And if I got a couple of people here, great. If I nobody here, if I got a bunch of people here, it's all good, man. So Final Fantasy rounds out. So we saw 10 games today. You guys in the chat, let me know. What was the number one game you saw today from State of Play if you managed to watch it? And perhaps what was your least impressive game? So I'm going to tell you mine. So obviously, Canna Bridge of Spirits was hands down my number one game. That still blew me away. Graphics look amazing. I think the characters, the story, they showed one boss or whatever. Like it looked like dead bodies coming up out of the ground and joining together, and then coming out and trying to kick your butt. It has that little bit of a Legend of Zelda kind of vibe to it, but at the same time, like a Zelda mixed with Fable, mixed with a little bit of Horizon Zero Dawn in a sense. So that looked really cool. And I suppose the worst one, like I said, of all those games I saw today, it's almost a tie. I'm going to say between Knockout City and that Solar Ash game. Those games did not impress me. Not one, not iota. It was just like that Knockout City game just looks like I said, a fun little distraction for maybe a couple of days, and then you're just like, it's a dodgeball game. It kind of reminds me of a dodgeball game that was supposed to be like Splatoon. I don't know. We got your boy Matty P says Deathloop. He likes Deathloop. That is a good pick, actually. Iceman's like in Returnal, says that looks sick. Regular likes Deathloop, Knockout City. And there you go. Regular actually kind of like Knockout City. So maybe I'll be wrong on that one. I'll eat my words. Need a PS5 for Demon Souls and Returnal. Indeed. Solar Ash reminds him of Haven. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, it might be good overall. And here's the weird thing, and this, and I don't want to be on sort of that fanboyish kind of tangent here, but the funny part is about this, guys, and I think the majority of you guys in the chat right now, you're primarily Xbox guys, right? Now, what's the one thing that Xbox fans, the Xbox audience, have kind of got lambasted for over the past couple of years, right? One thing we've constantly heard after Xbox shows is, oh, your games look so cartoony. They're all got stylized graphics. You got the world's most powerful console, but all the games, they don't look very impressive. They're kind of cartoony. And it was something the PlayStation portfolio didn't have as much of at the time. And what do we see now? Like half of these games, if not more than half of these games that are coming out for PlayStation, they look like indie titles. They either have cel-shaded graphics or water pastel colors or very cartoonish looking characters. So I just find it's funny. It's like the shoe is on the other foot now, if you guys know what I mean. And it just kind of makes me laugh. It's like, well, here you go. You guys got a very powerful console too now, and fuck, all your games look like they're, like they could run on a Nintendo Switch. So there you go. Like I said, shoes on the other foot. I guess at the end of the day, what it means with Xbox or PlayStation is that not every game that comes out needs to have realistic graphics or photorealism. And I think we're going to see less and less of that regardless. And I'll tell you why, because the development cycles on games now are so long and these games are so expensive. Games that really have that level of detail take an extreme amount of work, big teams, a lot of talent, the proper technology to do the shaders and the lighting, and that's half it, right? Is shaders and lighting and textures and the ray tracing and all of that kind of stuff. So that's those kind of games take a long time. We've seen that for years, and it's not getting any better. Things are slowing down, and of course with COVID, and I guess the thing is, when games are less taxing graphically, I suppose the good news is some of those games can they can tap into a lot more. They can be more creative, I guess you could say. They can tap into other areas of a system's core and improve on different things that perhaps if you were running a photorealistic game would never be able to do. So, yeah, absolutely, regulator. Absolutely, man. Like I said, last year, the year before last, every time Xbox did a show, we heard that crap on Facebook and or Twitter, I guess mostly. Like, oh, look at your games. They look so cartoony, man. Like they can run on a Switch, And here we are watching PlayStation shows now, and much of the games that they're showing off are doing the same fucking thing. So yeah, keep the same energy, man. At the end of the day, a game is a game. I like photorealism, but I can definitely appreciate games that don't have photorealism as long as, like they got tight controls, they're fun, perhaps a great story, that sort of thing. So, you look at that game that just came out from Ubisoft with Immortals, Phoenix Rising. Not the world's prettiest game per se. It's not striving for photorealism. They kind of take a cartoonish stylized approach, but the game works, and that's the thing. It works on so many levels, and people really enjoy it. It's been a pretty damn good game. Yeah, Halo's been a long time, and we're going to talk about that in a second too. Before we go, so basically, my impression of the show was I didn't really, like I said, I'm not really disappointed because I didn't go in expecting anything big. I mean, this is a late February state of play. So I don't know what people were expecting. I guess it would have been kind of cool if we had saw something big. Like I think every show, and it doesn't matter if you're Nintendo or your PlayStation or your Xbox, that every show should always have something in there, like something big. At least one thing that kind of makes you drop, that makes you hold your breath, that makes the hair stand up on your arms, that makes you go, holy shit. Now, mind you, that's all subjective as well, because for a while, say for example, on an Xbox show, you could show off Halo, and 90% of the people are like, wow, Halo. But there's always that bunch that are going to see Halo and go, it's fucking Halo, that's disappointing. And I think it's the same thing with Sony. But Sony, again, has the make your pants tight, absolutely, or make your pants wet, however you want to look at it. But, is have that moment on every show, that moment that just kind of makes you go, I didn't see that coming. Like, I love that stuff. I think we all do. We all live for it. I think that's a big reason we even watch these things. Because a lot of us, if we knew going into watching State of Play or what's the Xbox show, Xbox, whatever the fuck it is with Larry Herb, like a lot of these shows, if they told us up front what the whole show was going to entail, the kind of games that we'd see, and probably a lot of us would be like, I'll just catch it later. But they don't tell you what you're going to see. So you sit there the whole time and you're hoping that, okay, let's, but the one good thing I like about State of Play, and I got to commend Sony for this, I like the fact that the pacing is good. They don't seem to linger too much on one game or another. And like I said, they're not boring you with like, here's 2 minutes of game footage, and then we got to listen to some boring developer for 15 minutes talking about the tech aspects of the game and all that kind of crap. So the Inside Xbox, right? So who hated what? Everyone hated what, the State of Play? Because honestly, I don't know what there really was to hate. For a lot of these shows, I really don't know what there is to hate. We're getting to see games. How can you not love seeing games or seeing more of games you've already been looking for? Like, I love the fact I got to see more of Canada today because I've been really dying to see that. I picked up a copy of Game Informer magazine a couple of months ago. Yeah, guys, I still buy magazines. Isn't that weird? Even though, I can get a lot of this shit on the internet. Something about holding a tangible object in my hands, a good old paper magazine, flipping through it, reading it at my own pace, no advertisements, popping up, no have to worry about the internet or any of that tech stuff. You can sit back in your bed at night and have a nice hot cup of coffee and just read your book. You know what I mean? Kind of like that. I'm old school. But anyway, yeah, I had that magazine and Kenna was on the cover and I read the article and I said, man, I can't wait to play this game. So when I saw it today, that was fantastic. Like I said, Deathloop was definitely looks really good. So there was definitely some stuff there today, but overall it was pretty much meh. It is what it is, right? And I think that's what we have to expect. I think we're going to see a lot bigger shows as we head into, the last part of the spring, early summer, pretty soon. Hopefully when COVID is behind us, I hope to see a lot of studios kind of go all in, balls to the wall, really, really put the pedal to the metal, get back at it, put in some solid days of work and get these games out. But, at the end of the day, take your time and make them right too, because Cyberpunk is still running through that whole fiasco. And if you guys didn't know, that patch that we've all been waiting for, I think it's 1.12, that's been delayed largely, they're saying, due to the cyber hack that they had just recently, where their servers or whatever got hacked and some important information was stolen and held for ransom. So they're trying to deal with that. It's been for CD Projekt Red, man. They went from the highs, the complete highs of riding The Witcher 3 and being renowned, and people are hyping these guys up, and then they do Cyberpunk, and they're And they went from being revered to being basically like almost like the industry joke overnight. It's pretty sad. I mean, I like Cyberpunk. I really do. I like Cyberpunk 2077. I think the game is pretty decent. It's not without its flaws, don't get me wrong, but the game's still pretty fun. There's a lot of cool stuff going on in there. It's a pretty massive game. The scope is pretty crazy. But yeah, so that patch we're gonna have to wait. It says we're probably gonna be waiting till mid to late March on that one. And I hope with this patch, this is supposed to be a big one, literally the biggest yet. So they're looking to address a lot of issues that still persist with the game. And hopefully the biggest thing for those who didn't upgrade to any next gen consoles, I really hope for their sake that they can make the game run relatively well, or as well as it can run. If they could get more, at least closer to 30 frames a second on base model Xbox One and base PS4, that would be huge, because a lot of the audience out there right now that want to buy Cyberpunk or already have Cyberpunk, they're still running the base hardware. So it's pretty crappy to come home with your brand new shiny game, or whether you downloaded it digital, and find that it's really hard to enjoy and play. And trust me, after playing it on the Series X, where it runs practically flawless, and then I go over and play it on my One X, which is a very powerful console in itself, and seeing those frame rates drop when you get in some of the heavy populated areas, it's really distracting. It's kind of like, man, like now you see why you almost want to upgrade to the new consoles, just for those quality of life conveniences of having steady and stable frame rates, and running more stuff on screen and things like that. So, but yeah, hopefully they get that right. I don't know if you guys saw. Is the chat still rolling here? It seems like everybody just stopped talking all of a sudden, but yeah, maybe it's the whole. Yeah, I think my chat might have froze up. But what game was a surprise? Well, honestly, Regulator, I don't think I wasn't surprised we didn't see anything God of War related, because I don't think we're quite ready for that. Besides God of War, I think if it is coming out this year at all, I suspect they're going to wait and show the meat and potatoes of that game probably closer to the summer, when we traditionally would have an E3, that sort of thing. We know it's going to be a pretty shallow spring here. There isn't a lot right now that's coming out right away that's getting a lot of people hyped. So great time to actually release a game, though, when things are slim pickings, that sort of thing right now. Like, this is always a great time of year between January to pretty much March, when, if you're trying to, get away from those holiday windows where you got to compete against so many titles. But yeah, I don't know. I was honestly, maybe Horizon Zero. What do you call it? Horizon Forbidden West. Now that would have been something I'm kind of shocked they didn't show, because that is a title that I think is pretty certain, or at least seems to be indicated it will be out in 2021, probably a holiday title, I'm sure. So that one perhaps, and I'm very disappointed, because I do want to see more of that game. I love the first one. So yeah. But anyway, guys, let's see what else. I mean, today, well, another big one, and this one's irritating, and I hope you guys feel like you're irritated with this as well. Talking about the Call of Duty. There's an article out here. Let's see if I can find it. This one is crazy. IGN posted an article. They said Activision has said that fully installed and updated versions of Call of Duty Black Ops, Cold War, and Warzone may no longer fit on a 500 gigabyte, say, PS4, Xbox One, whatever. That is insane. That is some sort of weird voodoo, lunacy, crazy crap. Oh my God. Like, Activision, what are you doing? Like, guys, people have to speak up and stop buying these games, because you got to admit that's insane. That is insane, when a freaking game needs its own fucking hard drive. One game. What, are we going to have to go out and buy a brand new console every year when a Call of Duty game comes out? Yeah, seriously. WTF, CSS Freelance. That is not. I knew it was big, because anybody that's got an Xbox or PlayStation right now and has installed Call of Duty, that shit's huge. I mean, every fucking time the update comes down, it's like 28 or 30 gigabytes. Like, holy Toledo. Like, what is in their game that makes their games that massive? I mean, you can't tell me it's the fucking graphics, because I don't see anything like next gen or groundbreaking. The games never look bad, but my God, man, come on. That is insane. I'm beside myself with that one. That one just is like, you know what? Thank God I didn't buy what you would call it, the Cold War. And I'm not going at it. Invader, what's up, bro? How are you? Yeah, I'm not doing it, man. I'm not buying Call of Duties every year. I'm just not buying into that. Um, I heard Cold War is good. Don't get me wrong, and I don't condemn anybody that wants to buy Call of Duty. If that's your jam, you go for it. But between the first of all, and the first big one with me is, why is Warzone an automatic install? This is the thing. I went out and bought the disc version of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I cannot delete Warzone from my console. Isn't that weird? That's the free mode, but you can't get rid of it. Trust me. Try it. You cannot get rid of it. You can delete the campaign to Modern Warfare. You can delete all the other modes, but you cannot get rid of the Warzone. If you basically get rid of Warzone, you can't play the campaign or the other stuff to Call of Duty. Like Warzone should be like its own entity. That's a game in itself. Call of Duty Warzone, if you don't want to download it, you don't want to play it, then fucking, that's how it should be. I don't like how they're tying it in with the main game. And I know why they do it, because they know that people will get the free version and perhaps start buying shit on the other one or whatever. Yeah, like Activision's still a slimy fuck. You know what I mean? Like, they keep pulling so much shit all the time. It drives me nuts. And these massive downloads alone are enough to be just like, yeah, buddy, I'm not crazy. I'm not filling up my whole fucking console with your one ass game. It's not that important to me. I'm sorry. So, yeah, Spider-Man doesn't buy Call of Duty. Like I said, I'm getting away from that shit too, man. Nobody else is doing the same crap that Activision pulls. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Battlefield 6, baby. Yeah, there you know you're talking. Yeah, I like to get that sucker, man. Yeah. So I guess last thing, we're not going to keep you guys here too long. I want to go try that Outriders game, sorry, and all that stuff. But I guess the last thing is some new screenshots came out of Halo Infinite. They've been posted online here, and it looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's hard to tell from a screenshot. Sometimes, it's not the same as seeing running footage of a game. But if you look at some of the side-by-side comparisons and you look at a lot of different things, there's no question about it. Halo Infinite is getting a massive graphical overhaul, and you have to be super, not to be, I don't know. If you can't see the difference, man, you need to go get your eyes checked. That's all I can say, because it's almost night and day. It looks so much better. The guns look better. The environments look better. It's kind of has me re-hyped. That sort of thing. I've heard, through social media and stuff too, apparently that they may have some of the coalition helping out the team at 343. So that's always promising, because we know those guys are super talented, and they probably had a little bit more time to play around with a lot of the features and the game engines, for Xbox. So like I said, a lot of times that stuff is, the details are nuts, man. So it looks really good, man. I can't wait. Like I said, there's a lot riding on Halo Infinite. Definitely it's already looking a lot better than it did when we saw it, last summer. So that's a good thing. They still got lots of months to put some more polish on this sucker. So, they didn't show Craig this time, but something tells me he's probably had a facelift since the last time we've seen him. Audible fart, what's going on? It's all right. What's going on, man? That would be really cool. Microsoft could definitely use a game of the year when it comes to Halo, or any game in their portfolio, as a matter of fact. They just need that clout. They got to get rid of that stigma. That whole Xbox got no game stigma. I mean, that should be gone. If not, it's going to be gone soon, because they're going to have more than enough games. So then the other one they got to get rid of is, you got to have games that have caliber, games that can stand up there, equally, and go toe to toe with stuff like The Last of Us and all those other games that get the clout for PlayStation. So, I can't wait for Halo Infinite, man. I think everybody in this chat is pretty fired up. And that's fantastic. I can't wait to play it with you guys, the community. It's going to be nuts. Super excited, man. This is looking really, really good. So, I mean, we'll go into more depth, I guess, on a lot of the topics come Tuesday night on our first official Gaming After Dark since this last Tuesday. A lot of you guys were in the chat, and thank you for that. Last Tuesday night, of course, I came just to kind of do a State of the Union, just to let you guys know what was happening in my life and that I am back, and I'm back for good, and that sort of stuff. So on Tuesday night, we will be doing Gaming After Dark, our first official return. It's going to be a great show. Trying to line up some guests right now, man. It's hard to line people up these days because of the friggin' schedule, that sort of stuff. So, what are you saying? PlayStation Japan Studios? I don't know. Question on that. I don't know where you're going with the question regulator, but yeah, I am back, baby. I am back like a sack of fucking dog shit on the porch. Light me on fire, man. Let's stink up the joint. Let's go. Hey, Royal Boyle, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Yeah, what a great crew here tonight, man. This is awesome. Like I said, I was trying to get Mag to jump in here. I think he's been busy. Titan's been busy. Like I said, I only said I was going to do this earlier today. This was really like planned for a week. It's like state of play. I thought I'd watch the video, just come in and give you my thoughts on it. You guys all know me. I'm Noof Nukem. I'm probably one of the least, I have my preferences. We all know I'm an Xbox guy, but I'm not a big biased, piece of shit. I can, I can give credit where credit is due. I can, call people out where it's due. You know what I mean? I think I'm a pretty well-rounded guy. I'm a gamer. At the end of the day, that's what I am. I'm a gamer. I don't care what controllers in my hand. I really don't care what kind of plastic box plays the games I want to play. I'm a gamer. I look forward to everything, man. And like I said, and I'm blessed and fortunate that I'm in a position that I can have multiple consoles and that I don't have to worry about the fanboy crap, because when you have them all, none of the narratives really matter, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Yeah, if you want a game, you're going to go play it. You're going to go buy it. They both have pluses. They both have minuses, like the State of the Play show today. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It was kind of, par for the course, as a lot of the stuff is that we've seen out of Microsoft as well. So, some guys will have great shows. Some will not. Some will have fantastic games of gold or PlayStation Plus games of the month, and others will not. Titan Drago is in the chat. Look at that. He popped in. He must have heard me talking about him. I was saying, Titan, you guys are busy tonight. I did send out the link. Didn't expect any of you guys to be here, though, so I told them that. This is kind of an impromptu about PlayStation, and so all that good stuff. But glad to see you, Titan. Hope all is well tonight, brother. I hope you're feeling pretty good as well, too. So all that good shit. So you are the best, Iceman. Great dude right there. Spider-Man, fantastic dude. I'm surprised Timothy Dixon's not here. That guy shows up everywhere. Sean Carpenter, what's happening, brother? How you doing? So before I go, if you guys have any questions, if you have anything in particular you'd like to hear me kind of chime in about, now is the time to do it. I am not doing a community game night this Saturday, just to let you guys know. I didn't plan on one anyway. I think you can carry over and catch Mr. Tushy's and the UK Gamer Night. I know they're doing, I'm not sure, I think they're doing maybe Forza 4 and possibly Gears 5. So that's on Saturday. So I may, depending on my schedule, may jump in and catch the latter half of that. So I will be bringing community game nights back again. We'll be doing it another week. So just keep your eyes out for that. So driving into work, well, you have a great shift tonight, my friend. I'm glad it can keep you company on your long, tedious drive, or short, tedious drive, whatever it might be. But yeah, no, it's good stuff, man. It is good to be back in the saddle, let me tell you. What was the high and low of today's State of Play? Well, for me, it's going to vary for different people. Just to kind of recap, the high for me was seeing Kenna Bridge of Spirits again. I mean, it's not like this is a new game, but it looks amazing. It's getting closer to completion, due out in August, so something to play right at the end of the summer that definitely looks like it'll be a nice little showcase title for the PS5. However, it is coming out on PlayStation 4. The lows today, I suppose the low was that there really wasn't any big surprises. There was a lot of sort of like fillerish kind of games, like games that just, yeah, they look okay, but they weren't, weren't blowing anybody's socks off. The end of the show with the whole Final Fantasy VII remake, it's like whoop-de-doo-dah, you know what I mean? Like most of us had that game since last year, all that shit. Yeah. Battlefield 5 Next Gen upgrade looks awesome. I haven't checked it out yet, but I might have to do that. How is Arnold? Well, Arnold was here at the start of the show. I could probably bring him back to say a a few words before we leave, that's for sure. I know some of you guys always look forward to a little bit of Arnold each and every week, so I'll see what I can do here. Arnold, you still in the building? Of course, I'm still in the building. I'm always here. I'm always on standby. I'm watching the podcast. I'm listening to everything that's going on. You guys have got an incredible chat there. I love you guys. You're amazing. Um, yeah, today's show, it was decent. There's nothing to get excited about. I don't think I had to, I don't think I had to loosen my pants to get today, but it was a pretty good show. I really enjoyed it for the most part, and I think, Sony's got a lot of great stuff coming. But as Noof said, the crazy part is, a year or two ago, a lot of the PlayStation guys who were ragging on the Xbox guys about all of the games that had, stylized graphics. They look like this and they look like that. And you got the world's most powerful console and you got games that look like they came from the Nintendo Switch. And, and here they're doing the same thing now. You look at a lot of the titles, they're cel shaded, they're drawn, hand drawn graphics. And I'm not complaining. I'm not saying this bad or anything like that. But what I'm saying is, keep the same energy, guys, is what I'm telling you here. Keep the same energy, that sort of thing. And there you go. Not a bad show. Not too bad at all. Yeah, there you go. Valhalla. Woo! Excellent. Woo! Outsiders, isn't it? Outriders? All right. Anyway, you got the game. Cool, man. I'll have to go play it for sure. Yeah, I'm going to jump off here and play Outriders here in a few minutes. I guess it's a 3-player co-op kind of deal, so that should be pretty cool. I'd like to get a little bit of that in before. What did you do today, Arnold, during the 5-hour Xbox Live outage? Of course, what I did, you go outside for a while. You go down the street, and you find a really hot chick, and you say, look, I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger. You come back to my house. We're going to eat some nachos, and then I'm going to lick your taco. That's what we do. So that's what I did today. I went outside, and I rounded up a really awesome chick, and I brought her home to my house, and I banged the shit out of her, and now I'm home, and I feel great. It's awesome. There you go. Hey, the gamer, what's up? There you go. Yeah, eat some nachos, and then dive deep into her taco. There you go. Oh, sweet, man. You got a Series X yesterday? Oh, that's freaking awesome, dude. Glad for you. That's awesome, man. Like I said, if we're fortunate enough to get those consoles right now, man, good on you. Sorry, my Arnold is probably not as spot on tonight. My throat's a little bit raw. I'm a little bit tired as well, like I said. So, yeah, got to lick that taco, man. That's it. Go deep. Go deep with the hot sauce. Ugh. But anyway, guys, I'm not going to keep you guys around much longer. It is 8:30 Mountain Time. Time to get out and go play some games, right? Not to sit here and let the hot fart air come out of my mouth for much longer. So there you go. I'll be back. Like I said, don't forget Gaming After Dark again next Tuesday night. Looking to round up some guests for that one. I got a few people on the agenda, but I'll nail that down. I'll let you know who as soon as we get the confirmations, all that good shit. And I am back and I am ready to go, baby. I am fired up. It is boom, boom, kaboom is in the room. That's how we do around here. Anyway, thanks to each and every one of you guys for coming out here, supporting this show, especially, like I said, a bit of an impromptu deal. Again, it's 2 this week, right? It's kind of like, damn, Noof decides like 1 minute he's going to take some time away from podcasting, and then the following week he comes out and he's doing impromptu shit. So there you go. I don't know. More Noof, good thing, bad thing. I don't know. I guess it depends on which side of the boat you're in. But yeah, thanks, Sean. Have a good night at work. Take care, Crispy Rambo. I'll catch you guys next week. I'm sure between me, Mag, and Titan, we may have a little bit more to say about state of play and a few other issues on Tuesday night. So there you go. But anyway, yeah, updates are crazy, right? Anyway, guys, we'll catch up with you guys later. Thanks for being here. Like I said, we'll see you then. I'll see you guys on Xbox, PlayStation, all that good shit. Thanks, gamer. It's good to be back, man. I missed you guys, even though I wasn't gone long at all. But I realized, like I said, how much I need this in my life. I kind of was saying that was one of my problems, and it's actually probably one of my therapies. So I really appreciate that. I'm going to be keeping on doing this shit, man. Like I said, as long as people are here to listen in, and you guys keep encouraging me to do this shit, I'll keep at it. So, and I do. I get a lot of great feedback on the videos, not just from all you guys who come out to the live stuff, but some of the comments I get the next day or later on in the week about the shows and how much they like us, it's just awesome, man. It's the kind of stuff that you know you're doing something right, and you know that um, there are people that appreciate what you do. So yeah, man, I would love to you know what, I've tried a lot of these guys. The problem is it's the time zones. Most people are on the East Coast, so they find it really hard to do the Tuesday night shows. So but I'll see if I can get Rand on here for one night for sure. Rand's a great guy. He's very down to earth, and I know we get along well, and stuff like that. So you never know. Maybe he'll be able to come out here. I got to try to get Dealer on again some point in time. But I've been trying to get Colt. Colt always seems to be busy. It's a little past his bedtime, I think. A bunch of different guys. Boomstick will be on here soon. I can tell you that. We're just nailing down the date. A lot of good dudes. So yeah, and you know, if there's people you want to see from the community that you'd like to see on here, let me know. You know, I've reached out to Cliffy B. I actually heard back from Cliffy B, which was good. Cliffy just said he's not really doing the podcasting, but it really would have been really cool to have Cliffy here and to kind of go back to the Gears of War lineage and stuff like that. You know, I've tried both of those guys, and the timing hasn't worked out. I've sent invites to King, can't make it because he normally does the early shows. I've sent him out to Cognito, same deal. He's having a tough time getting here. It's timing, man. Trust me, I've tried. It's just very tough to get anybody to come out for a show because it's so late. So Jojo the Gamer, I am good. Welcome to the show. Getting ready to end it here, but yeah, it's a long outro. This outro is on Viagra. Well, we're going to keep going and going and going. But anyway, we'll see you guys next Tuesday. I'll see you on Xbox, all that good stuff, guys. Have a great night. Take care. Keep on gaming. Have fun. And like I said, and I hope, like I said, you enjoyed this little take on State of Play. I hope that, you know, I don't come off this big raging ass fanboy, you know, because that's the thing, right? Like we want to tune in for great news and positivity and just great views. And some podcasters really take it to the extreme. And I think that I can do it in a way that seems fair. Of course, just biased sometimes, but I think I try to do it and be pretty fair. Like I said, I love both of my consoles. I've got great games on both, so good stuff. You miss the Alberta time zone. I love the time zone, man. It's great. One good thing about Alberta time is when those guys do the like Mr. Tushy and them, when they do their community game night, like they're doing it like I think they start at like 4:00 in the afternoon their time. So it's really early for me, you know what I mean? So I'm just getting going, and most of these guys are getting ready for bed. So yeah. But anyway, I'll catch you guys later for like the 5th or 6th time. Thanks for coming out, man. It was awesome. Over 30 people here tonight. Thanks for the super chat, regulator, all that good stuff, man. Greatly appreciate it. Hope Liam enjoyed the shout out from Arnie himself. Arnie will be back in fine form next week. Catch you later, guys. Peace out. All the best.